Welcome back to Manicentric. We are here doing a quick look again for another Marvel challenge for P Girl 261 Nails. And this week's theme is the X-Men. Now, I did consider doing the blue and yellow and the traditional colors that the X-Men have worn over the years, but I decided that I wanted to stick with just doing one specific character. So, as you guys can see, I've already started. I was hoping that it would be a nice little hint to which character I chose. It's Rogue. So she wears, like in the comics, green and yellow. So I've got my green on my pinky and my thumb. And then I've got my half and half yellow on ring finger and my forefinger, and then the yellow right in the middle. But I've only done one coat of each, so I'm going to go ahead and do the second coat on those while I'm grabbing my nail polish. Go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe buttons so that I can keep doing these awesome videos when I have a chance. And I'll explain a little bit about why I chose Rogue. I feel like everybody knows and loves Storm because she was one of the first X-Men. And I think she joined before Rogue. Also, who doesn't want to make sunny days when they're happy and rainy days when they're not so much? So she's literally a cult favorite. That everybody loves her. So I wanted to choose somebody that is a little less known and not necessarily less popular, but who goes through just as many struggles. And I felt that Rogue was definitely a character that I could empathize with, given the fact that her power is absorbing literally life force, emotion, everything from whoever she touches. And considering I'm a huge hugger and kind of empathetic myself when it comes to being close to people that I care about, I felt like even though her power is super cool and she can use other people's powers, she goes through a lot. She pays a high price for that awesomeness. So here I'm just cleaning up the line. But it doesn't have to be super straight if you were doing this, because I'm more than likely going to do a black line down the middle. But that's the green, and the green I chose to use is from Maniology 2. So that's I don't know, that's just a thing for me right now. And this one is Malachite. So this is the one I chose to use for this Manny. And then I chose to use the yellow from the pineapple set, Maui Gold. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up those streaks by doing a second coat. And I wanted to make sure that I embodied the colors of her uniform. So that was why we chose yellow and green. There are some little less known designs that she has worn in the cartoons and the animations and the newer Marvel movies. It's I'm still getting some streaking. So I don't know if this is going to be my favorite yellow. I really like the color, but I don't know. Maybe it's the way I'm applying it. It could be me. And normally I'm not afraid of like super thick coats, but seeing as I'm doing like a split, a vertical split on the nails, I'm a little more cautious about how much polish is on the brush when I start applying it, because I don't want to overspill. So now that those second coats are on, I'm going to go ahead and let it dry and then apply a top coat to it so that I can go ahead and move forward, because I'm planning to try, and believe me, I say try, my hand at freehanding an X from X-Men. I did have a stamping plate with a circle and an X, but upon closer inspection of her uniform, like, the X is hollowed out, so it shows up as yellow, whereas the negative space in the X is black. So I don't have any stamps for that, so it's gonna be a freehand moment. Stay tuned. As soon as these are dry, we'll move right on. Alright, my nails are dry and we are back, and I'm going to go ahead and start seeing if I can work my way into freehanding a hollowed out X. So it may be a little bit off center, which makes me a little sad, but also I'm doing it on a curved surface, so it's not exactly like when I drew it in my notebook. And like, I keep promising myself I'm going to try to do more freehand, and every time the opportunity presents itself, I'm like, no, that's okay. I really prefer to stamp it, because stamping is just so easy and it's precise. Whereas freehand is not absolutely precise unless you just got those skills, and I'm not one of those people. Also, I've heard working with acrylic is better than nail polish. So I think that's something I may try in the future. But like, as of right now, just working with what I've got. And I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can clean up some of these edges to make that X more pronounced. Be right back. So just in case you're curious about how I'm trying to clean this up, I did grab a little bit of the yellow that I used to paint this nail, and I'm going in with it, trying to make this X a little more pronounced. And that's just because I did look online and I stared at like pictures of her costume. And that's when I realized that the X was actually yellow and only the bits and pieces were black. Which, like, I was shocked and I was amazed. And then I was a little like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't have a stamp, a sticker, or any other type of way of making this happen. And just now, looking at it, I realized what would have been super easy would have been if I had used washi tape or even striping tape to do this X. The things you think of as you're doing it. Alright, so now that I've cleaned up that X a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and resume trying to finish doing the outline. So this in itself should be absolutely hilarious to watch because I can't do a straight line to save my life. But this doesn't count because technically I'm doing curves. So it should be fine, but I can already see like my hand is shaking. So I'm going to probably have to go in with more of that yellow to go ahead and try to clean up that one spot. And I was so close to being done. But this is why I totally like really respect you guys who do freehand nail art. Because for me, it's like, it's always a struggle. Always. Alright, I'm back. I've gone ahead and tried my best to fix that X and make it workable. I still probably need to go around that edge because it's thicker than the others. But I'm not going to add any extra stuff like lines to the two-sided nails just because I did go back and look at the costume and there's no lines in it. It's just like shaded to show depth and contours. So this is the final look. I'm going to go ahead and add a top coat and take some pics and then post this for P Girl 261 Nails Marvel collab so that you guys can see it on my Instagram. Thanks again so much for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys for the next video.